So in essence, there needs to be a high-level federal review, an executive review of this case in the next 24 hours or better, okay? Because that's when they plan to screen me out. It's very simple. There's lots of different ways to kill someone like me, especially when you're using technology and fumes and poisons and you're trying to hack their brain. Lots of different ways. They've given me an ultimatum, and the ultimatum is time sensitive. They said either you will be our crippled slave in a short amount of time, which obviously potentially includes being a sex slave, or we're going to screen you out. There's also a bunch of broken communication. They make that clear at times, they try to confuse it. They make it clear, they try to confuse it. There's 23 witnesses to the psychological operation against me. So the FBI, the government, okay, the American people, the inhabitants of the earth, they were all given an ultimatum by God at the same time. It said either be an alpha-like person in the sense of man up and take responsibility for what you've done. Compensate this guy. Leave him alone. Because this person, Chukwuemeka, is the most righteous guy with a universal scale. This transcends your conception of religion and his and hers conception of religion. This is universal. The person who has the most righteous and intensely righteous deeds with a universal scale. Everyone knows the difference between whispering and shouting. They don't need to check their religious book or ask their mentor or guru or priest or imam or rabbi. And so it is with martial and righteous intensity and my top martial arts challenge and the accompanying moral code that I propound. That is the most intense thing in human history. Being the top martial arts makes me the most morally intense person. Okay? Them preventing me from having a lot of money to end world hunger or this, that, and the other thing, okay, can't be counted against me. So what kind of righteous state did I achieve? It's universal. So as you look at this thing again, you have to understand that in the next 24 hours or so, it is extremely likely that I will be killed by the United States of America, their government, because of their extreme and fanatic refusal to be men, and if they're females, women. Now, if we look at an example here, why do I hold it against people for being afraid to do the right thing? Well, say you were somebody who's 6'4", you're male, you weigh 230 pounds, you're a bodybuilder, and you're walking down the street and you see a 10-year-old beating a 5-year-old senseless. Okay? And you walk right by, and later on someone asks you, why didn't you help him? And you say, well, you're afraid that you're going to get hurt. And you're afraid that if you got hurt, that you have a pet at home and someone else will take control of that pet and they might not treat it so fairly. You have to have your priorities straight. There's a thin line between that and you're afraid for yourself, for your family, when God's son is being persecuted by your government, okay, or by a foreign government. So as I see everyone's response to this, they come in all shapes and sizes. I see the spectrum of people. I know without any doubt that there's a bunch of chickens all over the world whose extreme cowardice, like that 6'4" person in that example, comes with no excuse whatsoever. And then there's aggressors, greedy, selfish, shallow aggressors who want to give me that ultimatum, and they're sick. Okay, and the whole government damn near must be aware of this situation. I mean, what I mean by that is so many people in the government, so many people in so many government agencies. And so it's fair to say that this is a strong population sampling of the entire world, considering how multicultural California is, and my estimates of people abroad, as I've been on the internet for a long time talking to people from abroad, meeting them in California, what have you. Okay? So that far overkills the divine verdict that after my flesh dies, that people are cut off from heaven. And you have to realize that I would have to be insane, to accept being enslaved and told what to do by anybody. I'm the most righteous person that ever lived. So I choose proudly, I choose to never be their slave and to accept the consequences, which they've made clear to me almost certainly means death in the next 24 hours. Thank you.